How's it going, guys? So earlier on today, the draw was done for the Champions League round of 16. You can see the full set of fixtures here, and as you can tell, there's a few spicy ones in there. So let's have a closer look. Alright, so up first we have Borussia Monchengladbach against Manchester City. And Man City are chronic battlers in this competition. They've dominated the last decade or so of Premier League football, but haven't made it to a single Champions League final. That being said, Borussia Mönchengladbach were quite lucky to get out of their group. I mean, going into it, third was probably a realistic expectation for them. They did manage to squeak through on the final day, but it was a bit unprecedented how badly Inter Milan did. I do think, though, that Manchester City will have too much quality for them at the end of the day and will go through to the round of 8. Lazio versus Bayern Munich, and I think most people can only see this going one way. Lazio finished second in what was arguably the easiest group of them all. They came behind another German team in Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich, they walked their group. I think they got 5 wins, 1 draw, which was against Atletico Madrid. Bayern will have too much for them in this one, so I'm sorry Lazio, but your run ends here. Okay, Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea, and I'm not too happy with this one. I think we got shafted a bit. Definitely some easier teams that we could have gotten here, especially since we did top our group. Atletico didn't exactly light up their group. They finished on 9 points, which wouldn't have even been enough to get them out of some others, but get out of the group they did. And we all know how Atletico are going to play. They're going to be set up to defend and counter-attack, and Chelsea have already shown this season that they'll struggle with that against Tottenham, against Everton. We don't exactly do too well against teams that sit back against us. Obviously, I'm going to go for a Chelsea win here. I want Chelsea to get through. It's going to be a struggle. It could go either way, but up the Blues. Liverpool against Manchester United, RB Leipzig. Let's face it, Leipzig will be counting their lucky stars to have gotten out of their group. How exactly United managed to bottle the whole thing, only they know. Leipzig, though, aren't exactly going to hang around to ask questions. They're going to look to this one, and they're going to have a go at Liverpool. I think everyone can see that. It's the way they play football. They're not a team that's going to look to defend against them. They're going to try and outscore them. But that's kind of what Liverpool excel at. So even though they've not exactly been blowing teams away like they had last season, Liverpool should have too much for this Leipzig team. Porto versus Juventus, and I don't think that this one is quite as much of a gimme as a lot of people might think it is. Porto in their group won every game apart from the 2 against Manchester City, where they did only manage to pick up 1 point out of the 6, but gave as good as they got in those games. Juventus, on the other hand, they left it to the last day to top their group, although they did so in convincing fashion, absolutely blowing away Barcelona. I think that if I'm going to go for a controversial pick, this is the one. I'm going to say Porto will qualify. Juventus, they've had a bit of a stuttering start to their season. Yes, they are unbeaten in the league, but with 6 wins and 5 draws, it's not that impressive. Porto are a team that like to play good football. I'm going for a surprise one here. I'm saying Porto go through. PSG versus Barcelona, and this is just a strange one to see in the round of 16. I mean, it's definitely worthy of being a final. PSG haven't exactly been dominating their league as much as they have done in recent years. They're currently third. They are only 1 point off top spot, but they've already suffered 4 defeats in 14 games, which is very unlike them. That being said, though, it's nothing on the kind of season that Barcelona are having. They're mid-table in La Liga. They're a bit all over the shop. There's constant talk of controversies and arguing in the dressing room. Messi, he still does his best for the team, but he doesn't have the same quality of players around him that he used to. So PSG, they'll have in mind, I'm sure, the absolute spectacular comeback that Barcelona had against them a few seasons ago that dumped them out of the competition. They'll use that as fuel, I'm sure, and I'm saying PSG go through here. Sevilla versus Borussia Dortmund, and this one's tight. It's a bit up in the air. I would say that these are 2 of the weakest teams left in the competition. Borussia Dortmund did top their group, but as I mentioned, they were in the same group as Lazio, which was arguably the easiest on offer. In the German league this season, they failed to impress. They got smacked around 5-1 at home by Stuttgart just the other day. They're currently 5th in the league, but that being said, Sevilla not doing much better in Spain. They're also 5th. There was a lot of talk of them being pipped for the title this season by experts in Spain. Not too sure where that is going, but definitely doesn't look like it's going in the right direction. I would say that if Dortmund can have their best players fit for this one, the likes of Haaland, Royce, Jadon Sancho, they will have too much for the Spanish opposition, and Sevilla will be left wishing that they just came third and went to the Europa League where they do so well. Finally, we have Atalanta versus Real Madrid, and I've quite a lot of respect for Atalanta. I think they play wonderful football. I've watched quite a bit of them in the Italian League and last season's Champions League as well as this one. They're worthy of their spot in the round of 16, despite the fact that they did get a bit smacked around by Liverpool in the group in one game. They did, of course, win the reverse fixture. Real Madrid, they have the most Champions League titles this decade. The last one they won was 3 seasons ago, and I think it's very clear that the team they have now isn't a patch on the team that they had in that season. That being said, there's a small bit of a crisis going on, but I don't think it's a big enough crisis for them to not qualify for the round of 8 in the Champions League against the likes of Atalanta. Sorry, Atalanta, but you could have gotten an easier draw. You didn't, and I think you're going to go out. Anyway, lads, those are my thoughts / predictions on the round of 16 for the Champions League this season. Be sure to comment below your own predictions. Like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more footy chats, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.